Hey, Deshaun, it looked like Jordan Thomas made some good plays there in practice today. Just if he's healthy and playing up to his potential, what does he add to this offense?
I mean, he has everything. I mean, he can play outside, inside, blocking, short, intermediate routes, long. I mean, he has the size, he has the speed. He's been 6'6", 255, that can run a 4.5, 4.6. So, he's a guy that's very talented, has so much potential. He's been working. You can tell that he came back ready, prepared for this camp, and he's ready to go. So whenever he get his opportunity, I'm definitely gonna give him a shot, and he's been capitalizing on those.
Aaron Wilson.
Hey, Deshaun, what did you think of the practice, and what was it like, just the feeling to be out there in full pads playing football with how obviously strange this whole offseason has been? And I have a follow-up.
No, yeah, it feels good to be able to be back with the guys, and these past 2 weeks has been awesome. And now, first time putting the pads back on, so getting some thud and some clapping going on, throughout practice. So it brings up the energy and the intensity, and everyone is, was ready and prepared for that. So practice went well. We got the job done. We got the work that we wanted to put in, and we got to correct the mistakes later on during the meetings, and just keep pushing forward.
And
Go ahead, Aaron.
Deshaun, to follow up, JJ was talking about how you make decisions about who you associate yourself with, brands, endorsements to pick, and obviously putting football first. But how do you go about making those decisions? How did you and your team with David and Brian kind of go about saying, you know what, this is someone we want to associate with and things that we feel like are good for your brand? Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Football always come first, and in each brand that I work with, we make sure we know that we don't allow anything off the field to interfere with what's going on the field. So that's the first thing, and then really for me, it's just really just who can I trust, who can I vibe with, who can I, is gonna make me feel fulfilled, my potential, my dreams, and what I want to do off the field. And that reaches my goals and my values of what I want to do, use this platform for. And that's of course being in the community, being able to serve other people, then also having fun and doing the things that I want to do, within the brand. So yeah, it's really just like a big family for me. So everyone that I associate with, I treat everything and treat everyone like a family.
Sarah.
Deshaun, go back to your high school recruitment by Clemson. During that process, when Chad Morris was recruiting you, how much did the Clemson family mean to you, especially when your mom was diagnosed with tongue cancer?
Yeah, the Clemson family, they was behind me through everything. Once I, received that offer, and then I got that commitment, and I committed to them, after my freshman going into my sophomore year. I mean, it was family. It was once you in, you can't get out. And it was one of those feelings where I didn't want to get out. And they've been supporting me ever since then. They've supported my mom, making sure that I'm straight every time I come on campus for a game. They showed so much love and support, and everyone was just let me be free. And I just felt like I was at home. So the Clemson family, Chad Morris and Coach Sweeney, all the coaching staff, they made sure like I was good at all times and that I was in good hands. And they did their part, and I did mine. And it led to a lot of success.
What does it mean to you that Chad's son is now wearing number 4 at Oklahoma?
That's my little bro, Chandler. Yeah, he told me that he was gonna wear number 4. I think he wore it all through high school too. So, going to college, 4 is just, because when I met him, he was high, like very very small. So I used to see him run around, the facilities and things like that. And he used to always just sit there behind me and watch me. And, sit right beside his dad and just watch me. And for me to be able to see him grow and have the success, and now be in college at a big time university, with a potential to go in and play as a freshman, it's definitely cool. And definitely seeing him in the wear number 4 is awesome.
Can you tell me what about your recruiting trip to Auburn when you were in high school?
Yeah, I mean, I of course, the trip was something out the blue. Something that just kind of happened in the spur of the moment, and I went down there and visited the school. It was nothing that I had to really explain to no one. And of course, Clemson and Dabo, we had our talks and things like that. But I told them, once we talked, it was nothing that I changed, in my recruitment. I just wanted to kind of go somewhere that weekend and go somewhere different, and that's what I did. And I, enjoyed that time at Auburn, and still, committed to Clemson.
Mark Berman.
Deshaun, Kenny Stills was at practice. He's not working right now. How important is it to get him back ASAP, and how important is he to your offense?
Kenny is a big piece to our offense. He can do so many different things, play inside, outside. His experience, his IQ, and just his leadership. I've been working with Kenny all summer. So once he get back, rolling and able to, get on the field with us, he's definitely going to be, right where we left off last year and even more. So he's been around. He's been, encouraging everyone that's been able to practice, and he's been working hard to get back on the field.
Deshaun, you signed 25 virtual autographs for fans today. Whitney talked to 15 fans after the practice on Zoom. They'll have a mural of fans at the practice field because you can't have fans there. What do you think about the Texans are doing, try to reach out to fans who can't be here? And how much do you embrace all of that?
You have to embrace it because the fans, they support us. They keep us going. That's what we want to do it for, the whole family. And the locker room treated as a family. We one nation. We one Texans. So for us to be able to, continue to show our support because they're going to continue to show their support, even though, we got to do it virtually and it's a little different vibe this season, starting off. So it's good for us to be able to, have opportunities for us to give back in different ways, and still, support our fans.
Christy.
Deshaun, what does it mean to you to be a leader of this team, and how much do you put it on your shoulders to help this franchise get to places it's never been?
It's just really that's just in my DNA. Leadership just comes with responsibility and things that, just putting the work first and people just follow. And that's how I lead, and just kind of, and then, putting the weight on my shoulder. I don't see it that way. I know it's a lot of pressure to play quarterback, especially for this organization who want to achieve things that this organization haven't done. And I feel like I, have the mindset and have the work ethic and the pieces around me to be able to do that. And, it's just taking it one day at a time. So if I can just focus on that and not, put too much pressure, unnecessary pressure on myself, I think things would just, go as it should.
Brian T.
Sean, kind of following up on the leadership question, how have you become more and more comfortable speaking out, using your voice? You increasingly have a huge platform, and whether it's, dealing with racial issues, you mentioned community, trying to serve. Is that something that's grown in the last few years as you become a bigger face with the Texans and within the NFL?
I guess you can say that. I think it has grown in a way of just knowledge and learning. A lot of different things I've seen, especially with social justice and, politics and things like that. But I didn't really understand fully. I understand the side that I grew up on, but I didn't understand the other side. So being able to understand both sides and then, have my way of, and knowing that I know who I am as a person and what I believe in, then I can be able to speak up. I don't want to speak up on something and then next, the fire, that question, a question pops up later and I don't have a reason or knowledge behind what I said. So everything is timing and everything is just learning. And that's what I've been doing this past, off season. And so I've been able to speak up more about it.
We'll take about 3 more. Vanessa.
Hey, Deshaun, baseball has had some issues with players going out and partying, and then the Seahawks had to cut a guy for trying to sneak a girl in the hotel. What conversations, if any, have you had as a leader, especially with the rookies, about in order to make this season work with the coronavirus, we all have to do our part away from training camp as well?
Yeah, we got to be responsible. We got to be professionals, and we got to do it the right way. And for us to be able to do what we want to do, and that's play and have a season and stay, on a team, you got to be able to, give that advice, give that leadership, those leadership talks. And, I've been doing a good job, JJ, and definitely Coach OB. He talks about it all the time. And he makes sure that he uses other people's mistakes and bring it to us so we see it, so we don't have those same mistakes. And we've been doing a good job of, handling that, especially in a city like Houston. And I think guys are focused. It's just, focus and being able to take responsibility on what you're doing. And, we're doing a good job with that. But, hey, I can't speak on anybody else.
Brandon.
Deshaun, last year we had you up here at the radio station meeting with fans, talking football. It was an event with Verizon and Sports Radio 610. And at one point you were asked what your favorite play was. And your response, I don't know if you remember this, but your response was a go route to hop for 6.
Right.
And so my question to you now, obviously, Hop's not here. You have new weapons. You have a new play caller. What do you anticipate your favorite play might become? And I do have a follow-up too.
Go routes to 15, go routes to 12, go routes to 13, crossing routes to 18, 16. I mean, the boys, the Duke boys, the Johnson boys coming out the backfield, spreading the ball around, being able to, find an open man, take my game to another level, and just, spread the wealth. And, not necessarily we didn't do that in the previous years, but, I mean, you have the number 1 receiver in the NFL. He's going to do his part. He's going to get his targets. So, to make sure that, he's doing what he needs to do. But now we have depth and we have a lot of experience and a lot of veteran guys. So, we'll be able to spread it around. And guys are, going to do their part to, be able to get touchdowns.
And then my follow-up is, we already talked about leadership and you mentioned Kenny Stills. I'm curious as far as like you and Kenny off the field, you talked about in interviews previously, some of the issues off the field. What have those conversations been like with Kenny? What have you learned from him? And also, what are those conversations like with your other teammates as y'all all come back together now?
The conversations with Kenny has been real good. I've learned so much from him, from the knowledge and different stories and different things that he's been, experiencing over this offseason and being a part of that. So for me to be able to just sit there and listen, just, be able to take in so much knowledge and what's been going on. But I've been around Kenny all offseason, so that's kind of been naturally happening. But I think, the guys over throughout the locker room have been great about it. Everyone is aware of what's going on, of reality, and not just sucked in on what's going on. So we've been able to separate, of course, football, but also, reality in life has been good.
We'll go Sarah and then finish with Aaron Reese.
Hey, Deshaun, now that you've had your first padded practice, what do you think about this offense? Obviously, you don't have DeAndre Hopkins on the field, but what did you see today?
A lot of talent, a lot of energy, a lot of guys that's wanted to make that want to make plays. A lot of guys competing, and that's all we need is guys that's going to compete each and every down, each and every play, and try to make a big play for this offense. None of us want to disappoint one another, so we're going to do our job, to the highest. And of course, we're going to make mistakes. We are human, but at the same time, we're going to make sure that we're as consistent as we can to try to be successful.
Last one for Aaron Reese.
Deshaun, you guys are obviously all in person now, but when you guys were just meeting virtually like this, what was the challenge of being like the quarterback and a leader of the team when you aren't in like face-to-face or with your actual teammates in person during the offseason?
I mean, really the biggest challenge was when somebody's Wi-Fi go out. The Zoom meetings were great. I mean, we got a lot, going on. People were actually communicating, talking. Whenever we could meet up, we would meet up. But the Zoom meetings they were pretty awesome. And definitely we got a lot out of it.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.